I've heard stories about that place. Something dark lives in that castle. I wouldn't step foot in there for anything.
Ah, sounds like a fun place to visit. Let's go to Castle Dornstein. Hello there, fellow adventurers. For this special episode of Geek Plays Demos, the fine folks at Digital Mosaic Games put together an extended demo of Castle Dornstein after I begged them for more.
Please, sir, I want some more. What?
It was exhibited at Adventure X in 2023, where writer and artist David Brochek gave me a Chechen chocolate, which I still have. Well, I'm sure it's still edible. The story is set in Bohemia in 1853, where our protagonist Hemlock receives a letter from Lord Theodore Dawnstein, inviting him to travel to his family's castle to translate a rare book called the Deorum Historia Orbis Terrarum, also known as the Devil's Diary. It was written by a mad monk called Grigorovitz, who apparently had a lovely chat with the devil, kind of like the 9 gates of the Kingdom of Shadows.
Yes, Venice, 1666. The author and printer Aristide Torchi was burned by the Holy Inquisition.
The original demo starts off just outside the castle, but because I asked for more, we get to see some of the surrounding landscape first. As soon as we arrive, we get pickpocketed by a sneaky kid, and the carriage driver refuses to take us any further. We'll have to look for help in the village of Kirkenov, which literally means the place where ravens crow. Right, so instead of Kirkenov, I guess it should be pronounced Kirkornov! Kirkornov is quite desolate, and there's not much to do here now besides ask directions from this beggar, but because that kid stole our money, we'll have to find some other way to pay him. So, like any decent adventure gamer, we steal some bread, which this lady put out as an offering to the storm god to protect her home. I'm sure nothing bad will come of this. And so we make our way up the path to the castle, which is quite a cinematic reveal, and it's just missing some appropriate music. David Brochek explains how the castle is inspired by the many castles in his home country of Czechia, where they're as widespread as McDonald's.
I live in a country that has literally hundreds of castles and chateaus on every corner. I've been living in Czech Republic all my life, and visiting castles here is as common as going to the McDonald's in the USA.
After being admitted by the servant Severin, we learn something about the Dawnstein family, and that the Lord Theodore is grieving the death of his wife Sylvia. Being a fellow book lover though, who's turned on by dusty old manuscripts, he's more than happy to talk to Hemlock. Let's compare how Theodore's office looks to the old demo. As you can see, it used to be more gloomy with some dead flowers in a vase and a table lamp casting a dim light. The new version replaces the lamp with a candle, and the room is a lot brighter and more inviting. Anyway, Hemlock is invited to dinner, and I especially love the pixel art animation in this scene. The artist and animator is Dara Carroll, seen here speed drawing one of the character portraits that feature in the original demo. After dinner, Hemlock talks with Lady Vladka, who recalls the legend of something called a vodnik living in the Kirkenov pond. Sorry, I mean Kirkornov! In Slavic mythology, this is also called a vodianoi and looks like a fish man, but as David Brochek explains, this creature is different in Czech folklore.
What I like about this is that in Czech culture, vodnik is more like this weird guy sitting by the lake and sometimes drowning people he doesn't like and takes their souls. But also, if you are kind to him, he'll help. He's always just this guy living by water.
I hope we get to meet this vodnik in the full game. He sounds like a nice chap. Lady Vladka originally had an interesting line of dialogue about how much Hemlock loves learning about the past, warning him not to get too lost. A man can become so consumed by the past that he forgets to live in the present. She also looks quite vampiric in this portrait, and in fact Dracula is one of the inspirations behind the game's story, along with one of my favorite adventure games, The Black Mirror. Let's take a look at the so-called Devil's Diary and see if we can unlock its secrets. Bollocks, that's not the book we're looking for! The demo originally ends here, but in this extended version there's a bit more.
Please, sir.
Hemlock, wearing his dapper stripy pajamas, wakes up in the night after hearing a sound coming from somewhere in the castle. It could be he's still dreaming though, as everything has been transformed into this ghostly nightmare, and he finds some shadowy figures lurking in the library. Well, I guess that's all there is for now, but the latest gameplay trailer shows a glimpse into what's in store. So, wish this Castle Dornstein on Steam, and in the meantime, check out all the other digital Mosaic games available on itch. Links in the description below. Until next time, love you and keep on adventuring.